Dude, you alright?
Yeah, I'm just upset because Fayetteville scored three third period goals.
Yeah?
Yeah, it just seems like the team just fell flat right there at the end, and it just was not good.
But at least they won, right?
Yeah, you're right. Macon did win.
I know you should listen to me every now and then.
Mayhem win, yes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. 4 straight games now. Fantastic. Love it. But man, was it a nail biter. It was Georgia Public Safety Night in Cherry Blossom. They were auctioning off the players' Cherry Blossom jerseys. They were actually very tasteful, well done. I'm just glad the jerseys weren't all pink, but it was very well done. But back to the game. Macon Mayhem faced against the Fayetteville Fire Ants, and Fayetteville is a very, very tough team. Most fans at the Macon Mayhem would consider that Fayetteville Fire Ants are Macon's rival team. You would hope it'd be Columbus because we're in-state, two in-state teams, same state, but no, it's Fayetteville because we played them the most. We play them again tomorrow on Sunday at 4:30 again, and it should be just as good. Hopefully not much of a nail biter as this one, but we'll get to that in a minute. First period started out very, very slow. Both teams were really just trying to figure each other out. Both of them got really, really good chances at each other. But what happened was, in about 8 minutes into the game, Jackson Brewer, there was a couple players were taking shots. I think it was Rivera was taking a shot, but Jackson Brewer fed the puck through Van Buskirk's between his legs and just kept on pushing it. And finally it went in. Jackson Brewer scores the first Macon Mayhem goal. And the crowd, there was so many people there. It was a huge crowd, and I loved seeing it with my own eyes. It put a smile on my face. Thank you, Macon, Georgia, for coming out to the game. And there's going to be a lot of y'all coming to tomorrow's game, afternoon game. I know it's Easter Sunday, but thank you for coming out to that game too. And I hope actually a lot more people show up. It's at 4:30, so thanks. It's the last home game of the season, which I'm really sad that it's coming, but I know next season is not going to take that long to get here. So back to the game. First period ends 1-0 off the Jackson Brewer poking goal, and it was great. There was also a fight with Travis Howe, and that battle went well in the corner. But second period, all Macon Mayhem, fantastic goals from the second line, and the second line's been very, 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 very good in this game. They've been quiet the last few games, especially during Macon Mayhem's winning streak. And me and Al been saying all along that second line needs to start producing if Macon's going to continue this winning streak. And they did. They did in this game. Mart Rivera had a pretty goal. It was unassisted. I'm not sure how that second goal went. I think it was just a cross crease pass and a shot. And we're up 2-0. Not even a minute later, our big boy Travis Howe gets his second goal of his career, second on the Mayhem. And honestly, I feel like he's going to remember this one because his actual first goal that he scored in his career, actually the puck just bounced off of him and went into the net. This one was a highlight reel, and he's going to remember this for the rest of his life. Travis Howe skating in. Lucas LaBelle is to the right of him, and he's looking at him the entire time. And you got a Fayetteville Fire Ant sprawling down on the ice to try to block the cross ice pass. Travis Howe does not take his eyes off of Lucas LaBelle, and he just shoots it right past Van Buskirk. And it was a beautiful goal, and the Mayhem just celebrated the entire time with them against the boards. And Fayetteville pulls their goaltender, Van Buskirk. What would seem like good news for Macon for the rest of the game ended up being bad news because Dustin Carlson played fantastic the rest of the game for Fayetteville. He did allow another goal from Mark Rivera, but Mark Rivera just juked him. Was going right and then slid left, put it back after Carlson was sprawled out on the ice, just put it right past him on the backhand, and it's 4-0. Macon's trumping them, and I'm loving every single bit of it. And that was the end of the second period. It was 4-0. 4-0. You can't beat that. There's no way that this team is going to let up and let somebody like Fayetteville come back into this one, right? Wrong. Third period, it was all Fayetteville. Okay, so the first one by Kyle Gibbons on the power play, which honestly, Macon has not gotten into not much penalty trouble, but their power plays, their penalty kills really strong anyway, right? I mean, they're second in the league in penalty kills, so I was not really that much worried. But then Kyle Gibbons was able to get it past Bardis, and it's 4-1. Not a big deal. Still a 3-goal lead. Nothing to really worry about. And then on the very next, not even like 4 minutes later, Joseph Mano, who was playing a fantastic game for Fayetteville. I mean, he was very much like Nesgoda. I hate that Nesgoda's gone from the Macon Mayhem team after I just made the last video and after he was like pretty much the star of the game last game, the game against Pensacola. I mean, he had that bout with Blair. He had his first career goal. And then, of course, Macon had to cut him, which I understand he was the odd man out on the roster. You don't want to let anybody else go that's been there all season long. So I understand why he had to go, but I hate that he had to go. But from what I understand, Coach Kerr does want him to finish college and come back next season and play for us and be a full-time member of the Mayhem next year. And honestly, well, we hope Nesgoda comes back. I mean, he was great. He's been great this season, and coach did not want to see him go, but he had to. So back to the game. Joseph Mano scores, and it's 4-2. 2 unanswered goals by Fayetteville, and things are starting to get a little quiet inside the Centerplex. Fans kind of just sat there and watched, and I was up in the broadcast booth with Al, and I started just sitting back a little bit, not standing as much, and not excited about the game anymore. I was just quiet, you know. I mean, I still did my color commentary like I should, but it was more in benefit for Fayetteville than Macon at that time. So we get to the final minute of the game. 34 seconds left. Of course, I'm on my feet at that point, but the entire time I'm like, They had an extra skater on the ice, and then Nick Lazarco, all up in Bardis's face. 3 or 4 people were in Bardis's face, and that puck got past Bardis, and all of a sudden it's 4-3 with like 28 seconds left. And I grab Al's shoulder, and I'm just like, I'm trying to put everything on mute on the microphone from the broadcast, and I'm just like, oh my God, no. And then thankfully they played it. They played it like a penalty kill. They dug in. They were strong. Flipped the puck out with like 5 seconds left, and Fayetteville could not bring it back into the zone quick enough, and the game was over. And I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah, you got saved by the bell of the game. Literally, the end of the game saved the Mayhem as they were struggling, going 6-on-5 right there. And they just kept on getting into penalty trouble in that third period. And that's what Fayetteville's really good at. Fayetteville's really good at hitting you, being physical with you, and getting cheap shots in on you so that the referee doesn't see it, and then frustrating the crap out of you to the point where you just straight up take an elbow to them or trip them, and the ref's going to catch that, you're going to go to the penalty box, and they make you pay for it. And that's why Fayetteville scored a power play goal, and that's why they kept on going into our zone so well and playing so well in our zone, and reason why they were able to come back. I mean, Macon honestly fell flat-footed in that third period, and the end of that game is what saved them. That clock hitting 0 saved them, and it was close. It felt, all these games have that playoff feel, and it was an important game for Macon because, number one, Columbus is still trying to climb in. They are still able to get into this playoffs if Macon loses games. Second thing is, they are in 7th place, right in front of Louisiana Ice Gators. They are right there behind them by 1 point. Louisiana won tonight, so they are still 1 point behind Macon. And Macon has climbed up on Huntsville, and they are 1 point behind Huntsville for the 6th place. So it's really close, and anything can happen. Bad things can happen if Macon were to lose a game and one of those teams below them win, you know. So I'm guaranteeing you right now, Louisiana does not want to play Peoria, and honestly, I don't think Macon really wants to play Peoria. Peoria knows that they're slipping right now. That doesn't mean that, they're going to slack off right now and then all of a sudden get into the playoffs and then choke. No, they're going to come out swinging, and that's really not what you want to deal with right now. You don't want to deal with a Peoria team that's ready to go. Now, the Macon Mayhem have their final home game tomorrow at 4:30 on Sunday, on Easter Sunday. And then they have 2 more games after that. Tuesday in Fayetteville, so that's Fayetteville 3 times in a row, and that's going to help us not necessarily catch up to them, but definitely pull ahead of Huntsville, solidify a playoff spot ahead of Columbus and Louisiana. It's going to help. And then we have one final game, April 1st in Columbus. I will be attending that game, no doubt. I've already cleared my schedule for it. And I will be in attendance for that one. It's the final game of the season for them, and I'll be there to cheer them on. But the last thing is their season ends April 1st. Columbus's season doesn't end until like April 6th or 12th or something like that. I don't even know, but Macon's got like a whole week and a half before playoffs start to just rest, and these other teams are only going to have like 2 or 3 days rest. So that might be a good thing for Macon because they're able to practice and work out a game plan and figure out who they're going to play against. Or it could be a bad thing because they got too much rest. The other team's going to be play ready when that game comes, and Macon's going to be just idle, just sitting there waiting, and the waiting game can actually kill you and make you seem like flat-footed and not play well. So it's just things to worry about. But thank God Macon was able to pull it out tonight, and it was a great game to watch. Lots of fans there, so happy about that. I gave 2 friends tickets tonight to go, and they said they had a blast and would love to like buy season tickets for next season. So that's awesome. I feel like I contributed to the ticket sales, for next season. I made fans out of them, so anyway, click like if you like this video. Also comment below if you want to be a part of the show and, help me out with this video. By all means, shoot me a line, shoot me an email, let me know. I want this to be a fan show where fans can contribute because I'm a fan of the team. I'm a fan of hockey. I'm a fan of the SPHL, and I want other fans to participate and be a part of this if you are interested. So just let me know. And if you want to see more, definitely subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to the Macon Mayhem Professional Hockey channel. Me and Al do weekly shows called the Mayhem Insider. We do them after games. We do them before games, but we also do it for the week coming up and everything. And you don't get a fan perspective from me. You actually get a analyst perspective from me about what what Macon needs to do, and we talk about the situation that they're in, and how can they pull out a victory in that. This video is basically to celebrate or to sulk. Depends on how the game went. So this is a victory. We won, right? But then again, I'm sulking because we almost lost that. But good game though, right? And good crowd. So that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Bye-bye.